Hey, I'm Thomas. Welcome to Pilot's Workshop. I do most of my filming on my cell phone, and that works pretty good. And to widen the range of shots that I can do with my cell phone camera, I ordered a set of clip-on lenses for the phone. It's the typical macro wide-angle duo. However, when I received mine, I noticed that they don't quite fit my phone, because the round hole that is meant for the lens was just a bit too small for the square lens of my phone. And as you can see here, it doesn't sit flush on the back. And because I figured that I won't find clip-on lenses that perfectly fit the Galaxy S6, I decided to simply adjust the lens holder that I have. So as you take it apart, you see how the lens works. The wide-angle lens is screwed to the macro lens, and the macro lens is screwed to the holder. What you also see here is that the macro lens has an external thread on both sides, so the wide-angle lens cannot be screwed directly to the clip. The excess material on the clip was quickly grinded away. And after it fit on my phone, I could try it on to see the effect. This picture is still without the lens. And this is the lens how it was delivered. Macro lens and wide angle lens combined. You can see that on the sides the picture is very blurry. The effect of the wide angle lens is perfect for what I need. But when I was playing with it a little bit more, I noticed that the blurriness at the sides disappears when I take the macro lens off and just hold the wide angle lens in front of the camera. But since the lens was not designed for that, I decided to make an adapter. The design I was going for is basically the body of the macro lens without the macro lens. So the first job was to hollow out a huge chunk of aluminium. And after parting off, the ring could be held directly in the 3-jaw chuck so that I could shape the outside. A bit of marking fluid makes it easier for the camera to see what's going on when I cut the thread. The first side fits, so it was time for the other side. here I'm giving the part that will later be visible a strong chamfer on both sides. And so it was time for the second thread. And after that fit as well, I took the adapter over to the watchmaker's lathe to give it the typical knurling pattern that gives camera lenses their distinctive look. And then once again it was time for a lot of patience and repetition. Eventually, the ring started to look like this, so I could try it out and see what the picture looks like with my modification. This is what it looks like now. And again, as a comparison, the before. And again the new one. The edges are not blurry anymore, but the overall picture is a little bit rounder, but that's okay for my purposes. So here's the set as we have it now. The clip and the small protective lid can both go in the same position at the back of the lens. So let's put it together. You can see that now I have the wide angle lens and the macro lens as two separate pieces. So while the wide angle lens can always be protected with a snap-on lid that came with the lens, as well as with a clip or the protective lid on the other side, the macro lens remains unprotected on one side. So I bought a smaller version of the clip-on lid that would fit the macro lens. However, the small clips need an internal thread to hold on to, what the macro lens doesn't have. So I decided to make another adapter for the macro lens. All the steps were the same as before. Only the thread is an internal one this time. And I am filming this, by the way, with a macro lens attached to the phone. after parting off, it was again time to go to the small lathe. First, to take off the burr from the step before, and then to do the same kind of knurling pattern as on the ring before. And once again, after a lot of repetition and an unreasonable amount of time, everything was finished and looked like this. So again, I could put everything together. And this time I had two separate and protected lenses at the end. And now, depending on which one I'm going to use, I can screw one to the clip and the other one to the protective lid. And that's all. If you liked this video, you can subscribe to my channel, leave a comment or a like, and share it with your friends. This is Pilot's Workshop. Thank you for watching.